Hello folks, welcome back. In this lecture we are going to talk about Ansible variables. There are various ways we can use Ansible variables, but I'm going to use few of the ways which most of the industry does use. Ansible variables can be defined within the Ansible playbook. So this is one of the way we can use. Then passing from the external files means we can define Ansible variables in the external file and call it in our playbook by referring that variable file. Passing from host inventory, we have created host inventory, right? Even there also we can define Ansible variables. And passing while running playbook. While running our Ansible playbook, we can still pass the variables using group vars or host vars and so on. We can use group vars, host vars while we are using Ansible roles. So these are the widely used or quite commonly used ways of the variables. We have a very good documentation about this on Ansible documents. Let's go and have a look. This is using variable, how we can use variable. And if I scroll down, they have explained why we need variable. While automation exists to make it easier to make things repeatable, all systems are not exactly alike. Some may require configuration that's slightly different from others. As you know, we are going to manage different kind of systems. Each system may not work similar way. So depends upon the systems, we need to take the appropriate decisions. In those cases, Ansible variables help us a lot. If we scroll down little bit, how we can define variables? Actually, we can define underscore, alphanumeric numbers also we can use. We should not use minus. So minus is not valid to use in variable, and also spaces, dots, only numeric numbers. So let's go and implement Ansible variables in our playbooks. So I have logged into my Ansible server. Let me become a ANS admin and clear the screen, and /opt Ansible. This is our working directory, and these are the files we have created. And if you do remember, we have created a file called createuser.yml. Okay, this is our first Ansible playbook, right? Now take this example. We are creating a user called John by using this playbook. But assume that in your team, a new guy has joined. Now you would like to create his user. So again, you need to go here and change his user ID. Not only this one, we may have multiple tasks, nothing but creating his home directory or generating keys. Lot of things we can do. All this stuff you would like to do with this one. Like this, if you hard code, it is quite difficult. And also, if you are using the same value again and again in your playbook, you need to modify in all these locations whenever a new joinee comes into your team. To overcome this problem, we can use variables instead of hard coding values like this. I'm going to use variables within the file and will replace this value with the variable. Okay. To do that one, let's edit this file. Here, I'm going to create a variable called user. So let's create a variable. Usually, we can define variables with vars. Okay. And if you see the indentation, it should be equal to your hosts or tasks. Okay, vars, and I am creating a variable called user. So user is a variable and I am specifying value as a John. Okay, now here instead of name I am going to use user. Okay, instead of name I can use user. But if I only give user, it will treat it as a user I want to create, and it creates a user with user. So there is a special way of defining variables in Ansible, that is, we should specify in the flower braces, and this extra space in between flower braces and the variable name, it is optional. Okay, but this is the standard practice we can do. And another thing is, in the statement, this is the key and this is the value. This is the key and this is the value. So in a statement, your variable is the starting word of your value field. Then you should specify that in the braces. Okay, like this, we need to keep it in the quotes. If we don't keep it in quotes, it throw an error. This is how we can define variable, but these codes are needed only if we are specifying starting word of the value. Okay, if it is in between, okay, something like this, add user, and then your variable is coming, then it is optional. But this requires only user value. Let it like this and save this file. Ansible playbook -i hosts create user.yml. Let's execute. Anyway, this user we already created, nothing is going to do, but this is how we can do. Now assume that in our team a user called Modi is going to join. Now I don't need to change in the all the tasks wherever it is specified, so I can just change in the variable value. So I would like to replace this one with Modi. All right, let's save this file. Let's execute it now. Now it is going to create a user called Modi on the all the systems. Yes. Let's go and check it out. So cat/etc password. You can see a user called Modi has been created. So similar way cat etc password. Yes, Modi has been created. Same thing over here. Cat etc password. All right. So Modi user has been created. This is how we can use variables. Now, whenever there is a new user, we are modifying our Ansible playbook, right? But I don't want to modify our Ansible playbook. I would like to get this variable value from the external source. Means we can create a separate file and from there we can pass this username. For that, I'm going to create a file called user.yml, and this can be any extension. There is no restriction. Here, I'm going to give name. Modi user is already created. I'm going to give Tom. Okay. So now I need to tell to my playbook that variable is coming from this file, right? So let's modify our file, and we are not specifying any variable. So now it would be something like this. Vars underscore files. Okay. This is how we can define external file name, vars underscore files, and then file name. Our file name is user.yml. Now it is going to call user from external source, nothing but from the external file. Let's save this one, and we'll execute again. Check just to validate. Okay, so the task includes an option user is undefined anyway, because it is thinking that user is not passed, but it is already there. But the description is creating user John is there. Let me change it. So creating just user. Okay. Or else, yep, we can do one more thing, that creating user. Okay, user. This is how we can define. Now you can see here I haven't specified any braces, but still it works. Now let me execute it again with check, and we can see the variation. Oh, I think I have specified. Okay, it's not name, it is user. So user. So that is the reason it is throwing an error. Let's execute now. Yes, you can see here creating user Tom, and it has been created, and we'll check it now. Yes, Tom is there. It has been created. Okay. All right. This is how we can pass a username from the external source. Now, or we can pass the variables while running our Ansible commands itself. Let's take the same example. Now, I'm going to pass while running my Ansible playbook. Please remember that while running your Ansible command, if you pass any variables, those have highest priority. Means wherever you have defined, all those are ignored, and whatever you are passing while running your Ansible playbook, that will be taken it as a variable value. So currently variable username Tom is there, but still I'm providing as a extra vars. This is the parameter we should use, or we can just use the -e. Okay, either way. So -e, what is the variable name? User, right? User equal to, I'm going to pass it as a Sonia. So let's see. It should create user called Sonia now. Yep, you can see creating user called Sonia and it replaced. And if I go and check over here, here also you can see the same thing. Clear? As I said, while passing your variable through the command line, it will have the highest priority. Even we can do with the extra vars. Sorry, minus extra vars. So same I'm giving, but just to see, make sure that even extra vars also does work. All right. So this is how we can define. Apart from this, there are various ways even we can define in our inventory file as well. Whenever situation comes, I'm going to explain. That's all for this lecture, and see you in the next lecture.